everyone, in this video I want to share with you 3 major lessons I learned as a self-employed private music teacher. My name is Anne, and for those of you who don't know me, I am a Toronto-based private piano teacher and vocal coach. I started being self-employed basically during the pandemic, and throughout these years I've definitely learned a lot about what it is to run your own music teaching business, and I think these tips will be useful for any other music teacher who would like to do the same, but I think these tips can be generalized to other areas as well. So the first major tip that I want to share with you all is finding your differentiating factor. What do I mean by this? In my case, there are so many private music teachers out there. Why should someone pick me? What makes me different from the other music teachers that are available to teach? In my case, I believe that one of my strongest differentiating factors is the fact that I speak multiple languages. For example, one of the newest students that I just got told me that when she was looking for vocal coaches in Toronto, she found my page and saw that I spoke Mandarin. And that was one of the major reasons she decided to go with me as opposed to some other teachers living in Toronto as well. It is also true that in Toronto we have a very large Chinese population, and I often find that it is the case that, parents only speak Cantonese or only speak Mandarin and therefore want to find a teacher for their kids who speak their language, Cantonese or Mandarin, so that the teacher can basically keep them updated about their children's progress. However, because their children are growing up in Toronto, they also want their children to grow up learning English and knowing how to speak that language as well. So, as I am someone who can speak English, Cantonese, and Mandarin fluently, this gives me a very big advantage because I can communicate with those parents in their language while still using English as a language of instruction for their kids. So now you need to think for yourself. What is your differentiating factor? What makes you stand out from the rest of the music teachers out there? The second major lesson that I learned is do not sell yourself short. You know how much your lessons are worth. You know the value that you provide to your students. So don't be afraid to ask for the rate that you feel like you deserve. You really never know what people are willing to pay. I've heard from so many other self-employed people, not just music teachers, that they were too afraid to ask for the rate that they truly believe that they deserved and ended up just kind of doing work at a very low rate as a result. I understand that it's uncomfortable to ask people for money, but don't sell yourself short as a result. If you teach online and accept students internationally, sometimes it is also helpful to do some research about how much music lessons usually are in those areas that you're getting your demand from. That can often provide a very useful benchmark about where to set your rates depending on where the student is from. And remember, it's not necessarily just about the duration of the lesson that should determine your price. It's about what value you bring to the lesson, what value you bring as a music teacher. That's what people are paying for as well. The third major lesson I learned is to really try and create a more personal rapport with your students and or their parents as well. I say this because before I became self-employed, I did work for a few music studios, and they always told us to never try to be too personal with the students, which I get. I get that to a certain extent. However, you can't really expect the student to warm up to you and feel comfortable with you if you don't try to at least connect with them a little bit. And it is true that some of the testimonials that I've gotten from my private students have said, one of the things that Anne does differently is she really tries to understand me personally so that she can teach me better and understand my style of learning better, as well as my taste of music, which keeps the lessons interesting. You want to be able to develop that connection with your students so that they are more receptive to learning from you. And the same goes with their parents too. If the parents feel comfortable around you and feel like they can connect with you, they will, well, obviously like you better as a person, but they will feel better about you teaching their child. Obviously, don't talk about things that are wildly inappropriate. Obviously, there has to be some sort of boundary because at the end of the day, they are your students and some of them are children, right? You have to make sure you have those boundaries set, but at the same time, you can't be completely cold and not connect with the student at all. So there you have it. I hope that you took at least something away from this video and that you can start using that in building your own business as well. Please let me know in the comments below if you found this useful at all, and let me know what other topics you might want me to talk about. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Talk to you soon. Bye.